All right, so let's just go ahead and start by reading this tweet. It says, Rushia was my first Hololive Oshi, and I was really sad when she graduated. It feels so gross now knowing what she was like behind closed doors. This is Rushia's Twitter. It's still up, even though her last tweet was 2022. She was terminated from Hololive that year, and after being terminated, she returned to her old account. Now, what is this person referring to? Well, it's referring to this blog site. This person posted a translation on Twitter. I've also ran the text through a machine translator, but for the sake of public availability, let's just read these screenshots. This is quite a bit of a read, so if you already know all this, just skip ahead. Hello everyone, it's Mafu Mafu. I apologize for causing such situations again. Allow me to touch on the headline that reported married and then divorced. Currently, he's filed a lawsuit against her. Firstly, just as the article has said, I had a spouse before. I sincerely apologize for the fact that I was not able to publicly announce it and have ended up deceiving everyone. We started our relationship in the summer of 2021 and we registered our marriage at the end of December that year. Following that, we divorced in July 2022. I've never uttered a single word about this, which may result in this being an avalanche of a statement to be revealed. This may cause various feelings of distress and shock to people, and I'm really sorry about that. Furthermore, to all related parties of this situation, I offer up my sincerest apologies as well. From this point forward, to avoid further lies, I've decided to tell the truth. By telling the truth, I might get sued, I might cause trouble for many people. People might never listen to my music again. I'll be hated by everyone, be told we never want to see you again, and I might never be able to perform as Mafu Mafio again. Even so, I don't want to lie anymore. I don't want my life hurting anymore, so I'll speak on this. The contribution below is a collection of the truth from the start till the end. It's quite long, so please only read it if you'd like to know about the truth. I really had serious feelings for my partner, hereby referred to as Asan. Around spring 2021, I talked about not being able to fall in love in magazine interviews, and I realized I was unable to hold any romantic feelings for people, which was why I gave up on love and marriage. It was during that time that I met Asan, and they conveyed that they liked me, even with all my flaws and faults. My views on love might have been different from the general perspective of romance, but I thought that it would have been really good if we could live together supporting each other. I received a lot of opposition from my friends and acquaintances, but I ignored all the negative remarks and decided to officially be in a relationship with her, followed by marriage. There was no confusion that this was how sincere my feelings were towards Asan. I've considered announcing my marriage many times. Of course, this was a complete 360 of what I've said before about my thoughts on love and relationships, so it's true that I was afraid of speaking about this publicly, but even then I would have preferred for this to come out of my own mouth than have it revealed like this involuntarily. However, when we registered for our marriage, Asan was also an internet personality, hence due to the wishes of Asan and her associates, I could not announce this publicly. One incident that happened in the past made me think about speaking on everything as well. Due to all the misinformation and slander, I have tried to countless times to find the best timing and announce the truth, but it didn't happen due to several circumstances. When I was withering away in such an environment, Asan was with me. At that time, when I would object to trivial matters, she would have verbally attacked me. Countless days where I would cry and apologize continued, which made me think, in the end, everything is just all my fault, and my days turned so dark. It was so dark, it was as if I couldn't see. Back then, I was so blinded that I wasn't sure if it was normal or not. In order not to make Asan displeased, all my behaviors were to ensure she wouldn't be angry. I would be in front of my PC every day with Line and Discord open and would reply to all messages immediately. In a day, we would have hundreds of messages exchanged between the both of us, but even then she would suspect that I was cheating on her. She would keep me online on Discord 24/7 and monitor my activities, and to prove that I wasn't cheating, I would keep going up on my phone even when I was sleeping. When I look back at this now, this seems unbelievable even to me, but before, I would just accept this and continue to do it. Even in this situation where I was told you just married for the money, I would just continue to apologize without knowing much. I wasn't able to make judgments for myself. I don't know what the best choice of actions were, and at that point, the only thing that saved me were the words given by all my important friends. I came to my senses and realized that all the words and actions I've received from Asan was moral harassment. I decided that we couldn't be together like this anymore and started to consider filing for divorce. At the start, Asan expressed her strong feelings towards this and stated that I'll reflect on everything that has happened now. I don't want a divorce. So we decided not to file for divorce and tried to find ways to solve the issue so that we could improve our relationship. I originally bought a new home for us to move in together. I thought that if we were able to live together, we would be able to remove any anxious feelings that she had about our relationship. However, because our relationship had complicated into such manners, we both put distance between ourselves by having Asan move into the new home while I lived in my rented apartment. Shortly after that, Asan would start posting cryptic messages that contained negative connotations about me on social media. Those messages would largely differ from the truth, and this prompted many criticism from the third parties against me. Through proxy of my lawyers, I repeatedly told her to stop making such statements, but yet the situation didn't improve. In order to improve our relationship, to calm our mental health, we proposed to Asan to at least disclose some facts of the situation to put an end to the unceasing slander. However, Asan's representatives unanimously opposed our request by stating that she is restarting her activities in a new form, so please refrain from announcing about your marital status and make no compromises with us about the situation. I couldn't bear Asan's attitude with her contradicting words, so in the end of May 2022, I formally filed for divorce with a lawyer. Thereafter, without being able to tell everyone the truth, we entered into divorce proceedings with lawyers. During the process, due to my health, I decided that I would go on hiatus after Tokyo Dome. The decision to go on a hiatus was a painful one that caused a lot of trouble for the people involved. Originally, I have hoped with the announcement of my hiatus, I could talk about the truth and this would help lessen the slander going around. However, from the request of Asan's side, we couldn't talk about my marital status, and in the end, we only announced my hiatus to be due to medical treatment reasons. I regretted not being able to tell the truth and felt disappointed in myself for being weak. During the divorce proceedings, Asan denied the discussion, citing poor health as a reason, and demanded money and other things. When discussions were stalled, it was revealed that Asan was having an affair. In the end, we settled our divorce at the end of July with no compensation settlement paid to each other. After our divorce, the new home that Asan left from was littered with so many cardboard boxes and trash that there was literally nowhere to stand on. The urn with the ashes of the pet that Asan used to raise was also left behind with the trash. I brought the urn home, and even till now, it's resting on a high spot in the living room. I've discovered Asan's betrayal after a conversation with a man, hereby referred to as B-san. I gained screenshots of the Discord and line for more details and got him to explain to me via voice calls. In the screenshots, there were imitations of dates and exchanging gifts on Valentine's Day. On the day we registered our marriage from December 25th and on December 26th, she flaked on our plans for Christmas together and invited him to hang out with her during the end of the year. And even when we were settling our divorce in the middle of May, she would text me to say she wanted to get back together with me while inviting B-san to her room to share with her. I still freshly remember that I laid in the bed for a long time. B-san has apologized countless of times, and it seems that he was a victim in this situation as well, as he didn't know about it, so we settled things amicably. Even until now, I am in still good standings with B-san. But that was not all. During our divorce settlement, A-san and other parties has harassed me on social media and anonymous posting forums. There were a lot of posts saying I was a predator of domestic violence and I cheated countless times with multiple women. But of course, those were all lies and not true at all. During my hiatus as well, I was harassed repeatedly and couldn't tell the truth, and I passed each day with misinformation and slander spread about me. To even fight back a little so that I could get all these misinformation and slander reduced as much as possible, I filed an information disclosure request against anonymous posting forums. The result of that request recognized that the slander/information spread was illegal, and the request was approved. As the article stated, most of the posts were written by A-san. There were a lot of hurtful comments, but one of the most cruel ones was, Mako killed A-san's cat by slamming the door on it. The cat that A-san raised was blind in both eyes when I met A-san. She was very friendly with me. I have 2 cats myself, and I raised them with great care. There is no way I would hurt any animals, so I have no idea how she was able to think about that, let alone even put it into words. I've been doing my activities for more than 10 years, so misinformation slander has been a part of my everyday life. I think I would have normally not cared about it. However, A-san was the type of person who was against slander and would speak out against it. To have a person like her registering for a paid membership on an anonymous posting forum to hurt people, it made me feel like I couldn't ignore it. If this goes to trial, people can listen in and everyone would be able to get the truth. If I talked about the truth online without any context, there could be errors in my end, but by bringing this to court, this will result in lawful verdict. Due to that, knowing that everything will come to light, I decided to bring this to court. Currently, we are suing A-san for slander and the civil trial is ongoing. Last year, at the end of summer, I had a discussion with the police and they recorded my statement for 8 hours. A statement is a document made when police are investigating into a case. A-san was also called in and it was confirmed that she was sent the charges last year. I believe the prosecution is thinking of how to proceed from here currently. This might be an excuse, but I thought if the case went forward, everything will come to light, so I wanted to talk about the truth then. Finally, I believe the trial will go on and we'll come back to this in the future again. There were a lot of things that I couldn't fit in here, but I've only ever wrote things that I've had clear evidence of. I don't think I've clarified enough, but this being something that I've kept in my heart for so long, I'm so glad I'm able to talk to you all about it now. Like what I've written above, I might be subjected to statements that are not true or abusive language from Asan. However, if we fight it out on the legal place, there will be a conclusion to this, so please ignore all the slander and rumors until then. No matter what happened, this doesn't change the fact that Mafu Mafu lied to the people who supported him. It doesn't change that I was at fault, and I will live with this fact for the rest of my life. I am really sorry. And at the end, this might be really childish of me, but I really hope that with this statement published, I hope that it'll diminish the hateful content about me. Thank you very much for reading this until now. Mafu Mafu. Now, keep in mind that this is only one side of the story. We don't know the other side yet, but for the sake of things, let's just assume everything in there is true for now. That shit is absolutely fucked up. Like, this man was mentally abused for at least a whole freaking year. Like, this whole situation sucks. I'm glad he was able to get out of the relationship, and he is working on getting closure on everything. Now, my personal opinion on it is that, yeah, I pretty much do believe what he is saying. She was terminated for leaking info to third parties. Now, from what I remember, she was playing GTA with one of the other members of Hololive, and a message of his, Mafu Mafu, came up and was captured on the stream. And then after that, she tried to play disaster cleanup and tried to save face and all this other stuff. And eventually it was figured out that she was leaking information to people that she wasn't supposed to. And at the time, I thought it was her trying to clear her name or say that she wasn't actually married or seeing anybody. But after reading this, you know, we kind of know it's true now that she was seeing someone, and they were in fact married at the time. So taking a look back at her going to what was essentially Japanese Keemstar and telling him information that she should not have in an attempt to clear her name, this stuff that Mafu Mafu said about her does seem quite possible. Now, unless things go absolutely nuclear and she reveals even more information from her side, I don't think we're really going to see very much closer for us on this, since it's mostly concerning them and they're in a legal battle in a court. So let's go back to this tweet and read it again. Rushia was my first Hololive Oshi, and I was really sad when she graduated. It feels so gross now knowing what she was like behind closed doors. Personally, I think this person's a bit too invested in someone they know nothing about. Everybody's got their own fucked up private life. And I think a lot of people do this thing where the content creator or the person they watch or their entertainer of choice has to pass some sort of morality test for them to be able to watch them. They're just entertainers. If you like what they do, then watch. If you don't like what they do, then stop watching. Now, do I think this is something big enough to get a lot of people to stop watching her? Yeah, I think quite a people would stop watching her, but those few dedicated fans that will stick her by through anything, well, I guess we might see how many those are. This is Cheeps. If you liked the video, hit the like button, and if you want more, hit the subscribe.